Hi there, welcome back. So, hands part two. I just wanted to get back to those negative spaces, which are really, really important to watch yourself with. Just look at how different these negative spaces are. Beautiful sort of triangles. If you just had a line there, that just looks like a long triangle. That's a different triangle again. And if you did that, there's another triangle. So that's something I use, is I just do a line there just to help me to see these inner spaces better. This drawing is blocked beautifully. Somebody did the hard work to block it in by a centimeter, which is a lot, but yeah, that's that person's preference. So just note also how these knuckles align. There's a curve. When you draw them, check the curve. Check that you actually draw those curves in. They do help tremendously in drawing the hand. So how do these knuckles align? How does that align? What's happening over here? It's not completely aligned because the fingers are not the same length. So that helps me a lot as well. I would definitely check I would draw a line there just to check, okay, is it the same? And what's actually happening over there? Okay, pointy fingers. So this book that I'm using, just to give credit to the source that I'm using, is the fundamentals of drawing. It's a completely, Afrikaans says uitmekaar. It's completely uitmekaar. It's so old, it's falling apart completely, but I've used it so many years already, maybe 20 years. So it's the Leonardo collection, and it's the fundamentals of drawing. And the hands and the feet, it's quite extensive what you're being taught with hands and feet. It's a very sort of old-fashioned book in the sense of the type of drawings. It's ancient, but I really appreciate the fact that it goes into all the bones. It helps a lot to have all of these bones and to look at them and to know that, for instance, with this hand foreshortened like that, what would happen to that bone? That's not easy to figure out on your own. So if you've got somebody who's done the hard work to actually show you what's happening here and what the different relations and proportions are, then it makes your job as an artist that much easier. Alrighty, so if you're going to draw, I would say draw a flat hand, draw a fist, draw an open hand at least to get a hang of hands. So in this case, you would draw this first, and then you would draw it again. You see, you can't really put that on there because it's slightly different. Here we're still searching for form. The angle is changed slightly. So to do this and then draw that on there, it's going to be tricky. I would just draw both. Get to know the shapes and the form in this one, and then redraw it as a complete drawing in that. But look how the knuckles stand out. Hey, the light on the knuckles showing you how beautifully they stand out and what are their basic shapes. In between a circle and an ellipse, each of those you can place in there. Let me see, look how beautiful these fists are. I love that one. Okay, so that's fist. And there's another beautiful fist. Also love that one. Look at the knuckles again. Hey, look at the depth in there. The darker you draw, like with a 7B pencil, 5 to 7B, the more visually it would recede or go in. The lighter you draw, the more something protrudes and comes forward. Absolutely love this hand as well. Look at the basic shape there. That's just like an ellipse or an oval. Same thing there. Circle for the knuckle. But I would do this, then do all of these basic shapes first, and then start drawing this one, because then you know it so much better because you really looked at it. Look how beautifully that's blocked in so that you can see the negative spaces around the hand. That's going to make it a whole lot easier. Also, the line in the middle will help a lot to check what's on the left hand side, what's on the right hand side. So these are very basic grids, but I like them. They don't have to be overcomplicated. Make them work for you. So you see that line is, and this line is almost all that's necessary. I would have placed line right at the edge there, from there to there. But that's also fine because he's done the end of the arm over there. But you could also have gridded it there. So that's that. Let me see, what else can I show you? So what makes for a good hand drawing? Why would you stop at some hands and other hands are just not that appealing? To me, it's about the observation, whether the artist has observed it well, and then it's the style of drawing. These drawings are quite well done. Hey, they've got, if you look at the shading, it's from the whitest white to the darkest black, and a lot of gray shading in between. That's the mark of a good artist. If this was too, if it was only black and white and no gray shadows in between, it's the light grays that actually make the beautiful gentle nuance of tonality happening, where you get dark tone, middle tones, highlight, and then that's why that the gradation is so well done, that the shape seems so natural. Also remember, whenever you're shading line following form, you can't draw this whole thing like this. It's going to end up very flat. You have to be respectful of the shape that you're working in. So you'll see me, if I draw later on in the third video, you'll see me drawing, and the way the marks that I make, I would literally respect what I'm seeing. I would use some of what I see here to learn from this artist, but also my knowledge is well enough that I know I can't just go flat. I have to, in some places, go make a slightly curved or round line even to show the shape better. Look how beautifully this goes in the palm of the hand because of the shadows over there. And there's no outlines with this. Hey, the artist, sometimes the line on the outside is very thin where the light falls, and sometimes next to a shadow area there'll be quite a distinctive line, and that's because the artist has looked at and studied the line and the shadow. He's not outlining the whole shape, but he's really looking closely, and he's making his line is showing and telling us the story of the light and the shadow. So there's no outlining. Outlining is a mark of not being trained well, not being taught well, or not observing well, not just being lazy and outlining everything. Okay, so my last thing for this part of the video would be to show you some of the most favorite hands that I've ever seen in a drawing. If my book can fit in here, let me just see if my book will fit. Yeah, this is Victor Ambrose. Credit to Victor Ambrose for his amazing drawings. That's just one of my all-time favorite drawings of hands. I love it. It's still loose. There's so much life in that. Look at the sensitivity of the line for this guy. His work has a most amazing sensitivity of line, which I'm a lover of line, so I adore good quality line work. And yeah, he has beautiful gifting that can describe line fantastically. You never get the feeling that it's outlined. It's observed well. The shape is observed very well, and the line work is exquisite. You can see here the darker area there. That's because there's weight, and where the weight, that darkness there, the dark tone there, shows you the weight of the hand on the body. Okay, so I think that's my end of part 2.